Hey YouTube, Tim here from TMR, and I'm over at a race prep shop and just laminating some plates, and I've got a couple ways to do it. I thought I'd show you guys some tips and hopefully they'll help. So what I mean is I got two 1/4-inch plates. They're stacked or laminated on one another. That way we've got a nice thick surface where that bolt hole is going to come through on this upright where the A-arm is going to hook into it. So a couple ways to do that and keep those holes aligned. Obviously you don't want to just physically line that plate up. You want it bolted together. One way to do it, made a ton of these over the years, but machine in a lathe like a little nub or a pilot. That way both the plates would sit on the nub. You put a washer down there, bolt down. That keeps everything nicely lined up. If you don't have a lathe, you don't have the spare time, more common way is to use a bolt through both plates like I have here, but you want to make sure you're using the shank of the bolt and it passes through the two plates, not the threaded portion. So shank here, larger OD, it's closer in true size. The threaded portion always, I can focus on there. There we go. That always steps down a little bit. So you don't want that part in your tabs. You want the shank in your tabs. So here's one I'll take apart and show you guys if I can. And you're probably wondering what's up with this huge washer stack. Reason for that is, I think the shortest bolt I had at the shop was 3.5 inches. So these washers are just on there to take up space so I don't have to thread that nut down to nothing. And if I take this washer stack off here, you'll see there's the shank. So yeah, that's focused. That's the shank coming through both tabs. The threaded portion is through, and you don't want the threaded portion sitting in those tabs. So this guy just needs a little tap and it'll pop out. There we go, it's out. And if you take a look, that'll focus there. Yeah, those are lined up nicely, so there'll be a good tight fit on the bolt. The other thing to do, if you've got one that's handy, is if you've got a fabrication table, clamp that down. So obviously I'm bolted down here like I was. That's gonna hold that end of the tab tight, but we don't want this end of the tab to flare open. We want those two tabs obviously butted to one another, so a simple clamp like this works. If you don't have something like that, you could vice grip around it. You could throw it and a vise over there and clamp around it. I've done it lots of different ways. If you've got one of these tables, obviously super handy. But yeah, anyways, that's my tip and trick for keeping laminated plates lined up, and hopefully that works out well for you guys.